Okay, just another short video. A final few words on these two Muppets. I don't think I'll be doing anything more on these guys. It's just way beyond drivel and completely unworthy of my time, to be perfectly honest. But nevertheless, just a little bit more on the Grid Keeper and Tim Riffett. This is another Miles Johnson video. I'll leave a link to the source video below. This is not going to be terribly long, this one, because it's pretty excruciating nonsense, as I'm sure you can imagine. Okay, well, let's just see what the Grid Keeper's up to.
Oh, there's a church. I remember. That's the south end, so the entrance is south, not east west.
Now, if you look at this, now Duncan is holding the back of his neck there. Now you might think that there's a mosquito nibbling on him or something like that, but no. That's the death position. You've got to hold your hand on your back of your neck there between your shoulder blades, whilst you tap a wall with a rock. This is Duncan demonstrating his newly found multi-dimensional super soldier abilities that were gifted to him by Tim Riffett in the in the last video. Now, it doesn't look terribly impressive, I know, but this is what he's doing. This. If you watch the previous video, he's got the left arm up there between the shoulder blades on the back of the neck. So psychically, he's killing somebody right now by tapping that wall with a rock. He is psychically killing someone. He's psychically murdering somebody with his mind. Okay, although looking at Duncan, I don't think his mind's terribly powerful, so the person that he's concentrating on there might be just feeling a little bit peaky. You know, he's probably not got enough mind in there to actually be able to bring it to bear to kill anybody. But that's what he's trying to do here. This is a cracker, a psychic assassination. A psychic assassination. Oh dear. Okay, let's just run this on a bit further. I wonder if he knows Morse code, Duncan. I wonder if he's tapping out "I am a raving lunatic." Oh, he messed it up. Now, I wonder if any of you picked that. I wonder if any of you could identify how exactly he messed that up. But anyway, the person that he's trying to psychically murder there is going to be quite safe. He messed it up. So they're not even going to be feeling a tad peaky. Which I'm sure is a relief to everybody. I mean, it could be anybody, couldn't it, out there that he's psychically trying to murder. Good heavens. It might even be me. How will I sleep tonight worrying about Duncan's psychic murder attempt? Okay, let's run it on.
Is that because I was recording? We're not telling you. Boo-hoo, he's not telling.
Yeah, well, he can't tell us, you know, because none of these people will ever be specific about anything, because then you can point out how wrong they are. None of the predictions ever come to fruition, and none of this psychic stuff is real. Remember, remote viewing, not possible. Remote influencing, not possible. You will never ever see a demonstration. Oh, sorry, I've frozen that on Miles, haven't I? How? That's pretty hideous. Let's move that on.
Me.
Uncle Tim will tell you in a minute.
I don't even know what I just did. It just happened, right?
Is that why you're not telling me, or you do know but you're not going to tell me? I might as well ask Sir Hale.
We're loading the scrambled eggs from the church into our...
Always do get a bit of a chuckle out of this Miles Johnson channel. I've got too much time on my hands recently. I've been looking at this channel and one or two of the others. I must admit, though, I do tend to look at Miles's channel from time to time. Some of it is really excruciating, you know, to the point of it really not even amusing, and other stuff is quite funny. Now, I find this bloody hilarious, to be perfectly honest.
crystals.
Do you want to talk about Sir Hale?
Oh, here we go. He rang me up this morning, texted me this morning.
Let that go.
With a meet.
Oh, I'm not really interested in this bit. Hang on, let's just... I'm just going to stop this here and move this on. Yeah, it's just skipped over a bit there. I don't quite know what that was all about, whether that was an attempt at psychically killing somebody. We were talking about somebody in hospital that had asked him to take them out, you know, for a curry maybe. But this guy managed to survive this operation. He's still alive, and he managed to discharge himself from hospital, presumably. And I must admit, Duncan here does look rather like someone that spends an awful lot of time discharging himself, doesn't he? Now, Duncan is now revealing he and So Hale with Casbolt, another super soldier there, James Casbolt. Remember, there's no such thing as super soldiers, not in the context that these people use. Super soldiers fight people in the astral. And I think James Casbolt is one of these super soldiers that's currently being held in a minimum security prison and has not been able to use his super soldiering prowess to leap over the 1.5 metre perimeter fence. Now, he's going to tell us all about when he was inside the top secret Peasmore base. There's no such thing as the top secret Peasmore base, an underground base, a base under Peasmore. And the two videos, a couple of videos ago, I did I found the Peasmore base video. Of course, this is absolute rubbish. It was a joke and was filmed in Australia. Anyway, let's just see what Duncan the Gridkeeper here is going to tell us about
You told us
the Peasmore base.
that you find Peasmore.
Yeah.
And you took some video of the TR3B.
Yes.
But you haven't told us you were in Peasmore.
Yeah, we
Sir Hale.
yeah, so we had permission to go onto the farmer's land. We got thrown off first, so we went and found the farmer.
All right, so the super soldiers here have to get the farmer's permission to go and look for this base. They don't use their super soldiering prowess to tell the farmer they're going over his land.
Had a nice chat with him, told him what we were all about, talked about crop circles and UFOs, and he said we could go back up onto the land. So we've gone back up there. We're about to give up and go home, and this thing came over us. I don't know, half a mile away. It's hard to tell.
Okay, so this thing came over us. It was half a mile away. To say something came over us, I mean, that sort of suggests to me that it will be directly above you, maybe 100 feet. But no, this was this wasn't over them at all. It was actually half a mile away.
3 white lights and a red light in the middle. Pulled out my video camera. Unfortunately, it was on manual focus, so it was a rubbish film.
Who would have picked that? He had a camera on him, but unfortunately the imagery of the TR3B and, of course, the entrance to the Peasmore base and all the cars parked outside and the bicycles and the signs saying top secret base, no peeking, don't exist. Or it's too blurry to make out anything intelligible. I haven't seen this video, have you? Okay, not looking too good so far. Let's proceed.
Film I've given you. We'd done a time check. It was, I don't know, It was 1:30 something. It was very late at night, and we all checked the time. The next thing you know, we're climbing back into the van, looking at our top.
And witnesses corroborating this, of course. They all looked at their watches, and half an hour had passed. Missing time.
And we've gone, hang on a minute, we just got out of the van and got back in it, and half an hour's gone by. How does that make any sense? So, Sal and James got their regression done. I've never had regression for anything, and don't know. And they said it was Delta Force that picked us up.
Now, Peasmore, I think, is in Oxfordshire, isn't it? So, yes, you're bound to have Delta Force roaming around Oxfordshire. Not the SAS, not MI5. Anything to do with aerospace intelligence is usually handled by DI-55, of course. No mention of DI-55. So this is Delta Force. Got to be Delta Force because he saw a guy on a motorbike with a triangle on his back. Yes, good heavens.
Took us in the base. I don't know how we got inside it.
Well, Delta Force have taken him inside the base. Good heavens.
It's an upside down triangle. I just want to say, the first time I ever saw that triangle, I was with Wilson in Chichester, and he was attacked by, he was either MI6 or MI5. I went racing through town to rescue him, and...
Yeah, right. Now, what is this guy going to do against a government agency that may have his friend? Of course, it's rubbish. The friend doesn't exist. I think I read somewhere that the character he's just named is actually another name he uses. So he might have been rushing off to rescue one of his other personalities, maybe. Okay, and more?
The guy grabbed hold of Wilson's camera in the middle of town, smashed it out of his hand. Wilson's picked it up, taking pictures of him, and he went back off on a government agent. And we
Oh, so where are these pictures? We got these pictures? Where are the pictures?
saw him get into a van that they build. I looked it up on the internet. The van he got in was for a big building company, and they build all the underground installations for the military. So he gets in that and drives off. Wilson and I then sat outside my house talking about what just happened in the middle of town, and this van comes down the road. The two guys in the van both go like that at us. Behind it is a silver Vauxhall Astra van with all aerials and radar on it.
Yeah, radar. We've got any pictures or video of that? A van with radar on the top. Was it a rotating radar scanner, was it? An Astra van with radar on the top. Yeah, okay. Righto.
Behind that is a bloke on a motorbike, all dressed in black, and as he goes past us, he turns his...
Guy on a motorbike dressed in black. Call 60 Minutes. Call CNN. I don't think I've ever seen that, have you?
head like that and stares, and yeah.
Well, they were probably staring at the guy on the motorbike, and the guy on the motorbike's probably looked round as if to say, "Oi, what are you looking at?" You know, motorcyclists are. I like, of course.
An upside down silver triangle on his back. We drove to the police station and they were all parked up around the back of the police station.
Yeah, so it'll be parked up round the back of the police station, so members of the public could just observe this super secret operation, this American Delta Force, American Delta Force super secret operation in Oxfordshire. Okay.
So, but when I was in Peasmore, I was strapped down on a... on a silver table. James and our other friend were allowed to just stand there. Guy comes in with a clipboard. Clipboard scientist and all that, starts pointing at me, going, "What the effing hell is he doing in here? You should never bring him in here. He's the last person we ever want in here."
Actually, now that I can understand, because if they're taking DNA, they're taking genetic samples you're not going to want any samples from Duncan here, are you? I mean, he's hardly a he's hardly a top-notch specimen. I mean, look, he's as bald as a billiard ball. Eyesight's not too flash. Voice, yeah, pretty effeminate. I would say, you know, this is the last sort of person you would want to take genetic samples from. You're not going to want to make another one of these.
And they threw us out. They threw me out.
So they threw you out. And okay, so you can remember this. Didn't he say just now he got out of the van and got back into the van and half an hour had passed? Now he's remembering being strapped onto a table and being thrown out. So where's the pictures of the entrance? Where's the video of the entrance? Don't give up your day job, Duncan. Oh, he probably has. That's right, yes. I thought he was unemployed, didn't I?
And then James said that they put a clamp on my mouth and pushed these green eggs down into me.
Green eggs?
Yeah. Waste of time, wasn't it, on their part?
Green eggs?
Yeah. They could have had them with some chips or something.
But,
No, I forget things. But when I went to the toilet for 2 weeks afterwards, it was all green, so yeah.
So when he went to the toilet for 2 weeks afterwards, it was all green. So we got pictures of this green stuff that came out of Duncan's body here, a video of it. I think if green stuff was coming out of my body for a day or two, let alone 2 weeks, I'd be off to the doctors or off to the hospital to get it checked out. So did he go and get it checked out? Is there any evidence of him going to the doctors or going to the hospital and getting it checked out, getting a report from the hospital identifying what this green stuff was coming out of his body? I suspect not. I suspect not, because I suspect, like everything else this guy says, it's a complete fabrication.
Now, here's something I never told you. I went back to Peasmore 2 weeks later with my photographer friend, just to have a look around and show him what happened. And we sat in...
Oh, okay, so he went back to Peasmore with his photographer friend to show him what had happened. Okay, show him around, show him what... Not show him the entrance. That's interesting, isn't it? He's not going to show him the entrance so he can take some photographs of the entrance. He's just going to take him and show him around the field, presumably.
In the pub, and it was 10 o'clock, and I was laughing about what had happened before. Everyone was in there eating dinner.
I don't blame him. I've been laughing ever since I started this video. I'm going to have to stop that there. I pressed the wrong thing. Okay, we're back again. Because I'm holding the camera, I'm not using any clever screen capture stuff. So I'm holding the camera and I'm operating the computer with a finger on the keypad or the touchpad, and the little cursor had moved, so it jumped ahead. Anyway, back to sort of where we were.
And then James said that they put a clamp on my mouth and pushed these green eggs down into me.
Oh, sorry, we're going to have the green egg thing again. Hang on, I don't know whether I can actually move it on. Can I move it on without losing it again?
The guy comes in with a clipboard. Yeah, stuck clipboard.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to find the blooming place where I was, I think. Hang on.
So, yeah. Now, here's something I never told you. I went back to Peasmore 2 weeks later with my photographer friend.
Ah, here we go. We're back to his mate, his mate, the photographer.
Just to have a look around and show him what had happened. And we sat...
Yeah, okay. Just have a look around, show him what had happened. So he obviously didn't show him the photographs of the base, because we've never seen any photographs of the entrance of the base.
In the pub, and it was 10 o'clock, and I was laughing about what had happened before. Everyone was in there eating dinner, watching late night football, and it was 10 o'clock. We both checked our phones with the clock on the wall. Everything went black in the pub. Everything went off. Everything went black.
I remember, of course, you when you sit in the pub with friends, you always get your phones out, and you make sure that your phone is showing the same time as each other and the same time as the clock on the wall. When was the last time you did that?
and came back on again, and an hour had gone by. I'll never forget that. And everyone
Yeah, so the lights went off in the pub and they came back on again, an hour had gone by. What a load of rubbish. Absolute drivel, poppycock and nonsense. Okay, what's he doing? What's he simulating here with his hands? He's holding his knife and fork, is he? Hang on, let's just release it again.
was still there, but the time was an hour different. That was an
Oh, they were still eating their dinner. They were all still there, but presumably, if an hour had gone by, they would have finished their dinners and the plates would have cleared away, wouldn't they? Or did they freeze everybody in the pub for an hour? And then when you unfroze them, they'd notice that their dinner was no longer hot, wouldn't they? Oh, I don't know. Does he really think people believe this absolute bloody rubbish? Absolute nonsense.
instant. I can't explain that. I have no idea what happened.
I went down to Peterborough
Yeah.
actually to see the place. I always listen.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Miles went down to Peasmore and found nothing, as did Ben. And that's because there is nothing to find. There is no underground base at Peasmore. It's rubbish! Okay, just one more little bit with Rifat, I think, and that's going to be about as much of this ridiculous nonsense as I can take. Okay, so here's the self-appointed psychic warfare expert. No such thing as psychic warfare, of course. Looks like he's topped his tan up there. He must have, although yeah, it's looking a bit darker on the back of his neck. That's his death spot there. Might have been rubbing his death spot just a little bit too much. Might be getting a nasty rash there. If he's not careful, that could turn into something very nasty. Now, it looks like he might have topped his tan up just a tad, so there must be somewhere in Brighton where they've got a one of these solariums, is there? A solarium where you go and lay under a sunlight lamp. Pay your 20 quid and go and get a top up with UV. Got a bit of grey coming through here. The dye's wearing off. Can you see that? Got a bit of grey coming through here, down here. Yes. So much for the anti-aging, eh, Tim? All right. Well, let's see what pearls of wisdom this guy has to impart. No, he's looking completely gormless. In fact, is he going to say something, I wonder?
So here, of course, we've got the altar. Look at the pillars we've got. 1, 2, 3, 4.
To be honest, I'm surprised he can count that high.
5. I'll take it off, we'll put it back on. Almost 5. 6, 7. 7 stands for manifestation. And here, of course, we can stick our rock.
Yeah, manifestation. That's probably a verbal misprint in this guy's case.
Child women to do a nice black ritual on all the Rothschild women.
This guy is, of course, as nutty as a fruitcake, and I'm sure any of these women watching this are going to have as much of a laugh as I have over it.
Well, we called her Emma, but she's actually Kate. Doesn't matter, does it? The name was wrong.
I don't know, I'll have to castigate you, minion. In private. Full castigation is coming, minion.
What's your middle name, Emma?
Extreme castigation.
There he is, relishing his self-appointed side-lord role, calling Duncan a minion, and the others minions. He's sort of trying to make a joke out of it, but I think he means it, you know. Yes, he's probably due for a change of medication, I think, this guy.
I'll take those with you. So here, of course, we've got the Rothschild who we're going to do the ritual on. get some bad stuff on them. And let's name them. We've got Jessica de Rothschild, daughter of Evelyn Rothschild. Lynn Forrester de Rothschild, married to Evelyn de Rothschild. Nikki Hilton Rothschild, married to James Rothschild.
I wonder what the Rothschilds have ever done to this guy. He's obviously got a significant bee in his bonnet, hasn't he? Is it just because, you know, he's penniless and they are filthy rich and can have anything they want? That does seem to be a bit of a recurring theme with Rifaat. He's going to do something. He's going to threaten to kill these people psychically unless they pay him millions and millions. He wants to be super rich. I don't know. I think he's just too dumb to consider that if any of the Rothschilds were gullible enough to believe any of this absolute bloody rubbish, they'd just pay somebody 20 grand to leave him face down in a gutter with a broken neck. This bloke is as dumb as a box of hammers. He really is.
Serena Mary Dunn Rothschild, wife of the Emperor.
Got his rocks there, notice. Now if he removes his rocks from the pictures, he'll be getting his rocks off, of course. Now, it's very important to use an orange rock when you're tapping the wall in an anti-clockwise direction, and you use the black rock. You have to be tapping your death center on between your shoulder blades. On the nape, the nape of the neck. Otherwise, it's hard to believe, I know, but this process, this psychic murder, just doesn't work. It's almost as though you're just a raving lunatic waving rocks around and tapping them on a wall. Incredible.
This is your master bow down to Jacob Rothschild, so that's the wife of...
Can we get on with the ritual, for goodness sake? I just want to show you this ridiculous ritual, and then we'll call it a day. I can't take too much of this guy. I'll just stop that there. Okay, I've sort of flicked through it. It's really excruciating drivel. I think this might be a bit where he starts waving his rocks around. Let's just have a look at this.
Which gives us that free space. So as you can see, this altar is dedicated to the Nine, and Colin Bloy, of course, incepted the Fountain Group on 1981.
Yeah, I had a quick look at this Colin Bloy chap. He was interviewing this Sixto La Paz, another claimed ET contactee that came out with an absolute load of rubbish. It was obvious. People from one of the moons around Saturn. Absolute drivel. All of these people are a complete waste of bloody time. They really are.
And was always ripping on about the power of 9, and that's why he set up the Fountain Group in 1981. Why 9? Well, 9 is the ninth term of the Fibonacci series, is 34, and that's just control.
I thought he was going to wave his rocks around. What's going on?
Over the body and the soul. So if you want to control bodies and souls, you use the 9, and that's why the 34 BSI engine, the term 34.
I'm just going to stop this here. Right, now we're getting to the nitty gritty. He shuffled the images around, and now he's got his rocks here. Oh, I was wrong. I got it wrong. It's the black rock you need to tap the photo with, and the orange rock you need to stick at the nape of your neck at the back there between your shoulder blades. Okay. Oh, the other thing too is that he was talking about the writings on a stone here. It's actually a metal plate. Okay, let's just I don't know, what have we got here? What's on the big screen? Oh, the Big Bang Theory. Mind you, I think the Big Bang Theory is more I don't know, it's more believable, I think, than this twaddle, but there we go. I think Rifat's performance is just slightly more wooden than the performances seen on the Jerry Anderson television series Thunderbirds.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 13.
13, and then he gave an extra 2 taps. Isn't it supposed to be 13? Isn't 13 the unlucky number? 13 and then 2 taps. You see he's got his left elbow there because his left hand is on the nape of his neck, on his death spot. So he's psychically murdering these people. I have to keep an eye on the newspapers to see if there's any Rothschilds found dead over the weekend, over this past weekend. I haven't really looked at the news. I've been a little bit busy. But I'll keep an eye on the news anyway for the next few days and see if these Rothschilds turn up dead. I should think that'd be quite big news. See that? The left hand on the nape of the neck there, that's most important if you want to psychically kill somebody with your magic rocks.
And the Russians found that paper is a great collector of time density. So paper's brilliant for doing these rituals.
And away he goes again. Look at that. Left hand there. He's up there. That's probably a fake Rolex he's got there. Everything else he's got. His skin colour and his colour of his hair. Yes. And, of course, his fake rocks. All right. Well, I don't think I can take any more of this, to be perfectly honest. Absolute rubbish, of course. This is the last video I'm going to do about either of these two idiots. It's a complete waste of my time watching this. Absolute rubbish. Nothing to it, of course. Nothing to remote viewing, nothing to remote influencing, nothing to his magic rocks. And I think Duncan must know that since Rifat made him a super soldier in the last video. I don't know if you saw that, but he made him a multi-dimensional super soldier. And Duncan has probably, even though Duncan's not terribly bright, he's probably noticed that he doesn't have any multi-dimensional super soldiering ability. Still wearing his glasses as well, so don't think you get too many super soldiers wearing glasses. Hasn't recovered any hair follicles, and hasn't done anything about his voice. He doesn't sound terribly menacing, Duncan, does he? For a super soldier, I'd expect a super soldier to be a little bit gruff. I'm going to kill you, rather than Duncan's sort of effeminate voice saying that he's going to kill you while he's tapping a rock on a wall is not overly convincing. About as convincing as the rest of that twaddle about the green eggs and Peasmore and everything else. Do yourself a favour, forget these two guys. Forget Peasmore. There is no underground base at Peasmore. It's absolute rubbish. All right, well, if you've struggled through the video as far as this far, many thanks for your perseverance. You've got to have a pretty strong stomach to watch this novel, this nonsense, this drivel. And perhaps I'll catch you again if I haven't been psychically murdered by either of these two with their reaching out with their super psychic powers.